As a DC fan, I'm very familiar with the history of or the mythology of Hugo Strange, with his glasses and shaved head. What's different about this Hugo Strange?
Me.
Okay.
No, one of the things that I love about the sort of how would I put it, contained universe, the new universe, the sort of one-offs, is that these guys, you don't know what's going to happen to them because they're not really beholden to previous iterations, right? So like this character could be wildly different, could like live, die, murder somebody. You don't know because you see what I'm saying? It's like this Hugo Strange is like nobody else's Hugo Strange.
Okay, I see. So talk to me about the timeline, the period piece, the era that it's in, and how that presents challenges or maybe opportunities for characters like the Hugo Strange.
Right. Well, this is set in what you might call the steampunk era, right?
Exactly.
Which I kind of feel like Batman was made for because it's such a dark, sort of gritty world.
Yeah.
And I think of the steampunk world, H.G. Wells, all of that as being kind of dark and gritty.
Yeah.
And so with a character like Hugo Strange, he's an alienist in this, what we would now call a psychologist, right?
Oh.
But it was on the very beginning. It was at the very beginning of psychology. And so he was into some pretty scary treatments. It's the kind of thing that they hadn't quite got to take two of these pills and call me in the morning. It was a lot gnarlier than that. So,
yeah, so the instruments are simpler.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Simpler,
exactly.
blunter, one might say. And he's a character who's clearly... his intellectual curiosity may be a little bit more developed than his moral capacity.
So, without giving anything away, I assume that even though Jack the Ripper is the big bad villain,
Spoiler alert!
that Hugo and Selina Kyle also give Batman a hard time, correct?
Well, I think it's safe to say that there are a few characters in this that could end up being suspicious.
Nah. So there have been, previous versions of Commissioner Gordon. What's different and unique about this one?
Well, did you see the film?
I haven't.
Okay, so there's a dual side to his personality that I can't really reveal to you, but that's what's unique about it. It's also unique that it takes place in Victorian England, but it is a timeless story because it's very dark characters, trying to help people out. He's normally the kind of a character you wouldn't like necessarily, because he's so handsome and so rich, but he has lost his parents in a horrible way, and so you can relate to the guy on some level, and he's trying to do good for the world. So it's really a very complex, conflicted character, and you can drop that kind of a character in any time period. It doesn't matter when it is. So it works in Victorian England. It could work in ancient Rome. It doesn't matter.
Because it's Victorian England, I talked to Sam that some of the utility belt gadgets of the Batman has is not as highly advanced. You got to fit the era. What are some of the ways of Commissioner Gordon, working the police department? Does it fit that era as well?
Well, yeah, it has to. It's just it's just basic police work. It's boots on the ground and doing things in the traditional way. Obviously, no choppers, no cell phones,
no cell phones, yeah.
No surveillance equipment. I mean, yeah, it's
no bad light.
No. Well,
that's
there may be maybe with some fire. They use a little fire. Yeah.
Now, sir, talk to me about the appeal of Commissioner Gordon. Why is this character so iconic that lasts this long?
Well, he's just a good guy, He's a solid guy. Obviously, in this iteration, there's some real conflict within him and some real conflict with Batman, which I can't really reveal. But it's Commissioner Gordon is just your classic, solid, good guy working for the people, and he's everybody's favorite police commissioner, and he is maybe the rock of this entire thing. Along with Batman, he really anchors it down. So that was the responsibility of doing that character, is making sure that it was grounded in something really real and rooted in humanity and goodness and and that kind of a thing.
Last fun question: as DC fan, I can rank the Joker, Penguin, Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, some of our favorite villains in the Batman universe. So where is Jack the Ripper now among those ranks?
In my opinion, he's number one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Number one.
He could be number one. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's
Joker.
great character. Yeah, Joker. Yeah, I don't know.
It's more vicious.
Joker. Jack the Ripper. Come on, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't get much better than that.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, Jack the Ripper versus the Joker. I mean, come on.
Ooh,
Come
I'd
on.
love to see that.
You might. You
Yeah.
might.